You're
crazy.
most famous of the Dukes of Hazzard. What was it like being a part of a great show like that was on TV for such a long time?
Well, it was wonderful, and now people are still 40. What are we? We're 44 years, 43 years since we debuted.
Mm-hmm.
We still have kids, especially in the dirt track world, which is great. We have new children who are 4, 5, 6 years old, who were introduced to Dukes of Hazzard through a DVD set or something from their mother, father, grandfather. And they are as crazy about it as their parents were when it was brand new. So it's really pretty terrific. So I've been part of people's family and part of people's fond memories of what Friday nights used to be for over 40 years. So it's really fantastic. I love it.
So is there a thing that maybe the average viewer wouldn't know, maybe a fun fact or a cool story on the set of the Dukes of Hazzard behind the scene? And if so, what was the best one?
Well, first of all, I never dated Daisy, and Daisy never dated me. Okay, so the answer to that question is no. And then we had actually people say, oh, you must have had 4 or 5 General Lees. Well, we had over 300 General Lees. And I was 18 years old when we started. And the really cool thing for me, because I've always been a car guy, was that if I wrecked one or if I tore one up in any way, there was always another one like 15 feet away, ready for Tom and I to jump in and tear that up too. So can you imagine being an 18-year-old with total carte blanche with regard to destroying this car, and they'll just give you another one? That was amazing. And I think the real Dukes of Hazzard fans will enjoy knowing that the relationship between everybody in the show was exactly what it appeared to be. Mm-hmm. We all got along incredibly well. We were a family. We did depend on one another. We would start our workday at 6 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes if one of us had stayed out a little bit too late the night before, the other one would have to cover for them in the morning. You know, Tom, he knows his dialogue. Don't worry about it. He'll be here in a minute. And then Tom would say, John, John's got it. John, he'll be here. Let him get his coffee. So we would cover for one another. And also, and I think the real fans are going to love the fact that I was only 18. If it weren't for my relationship with Denver Pyle, who played my Uncle Jesse, I don't think I ever would have come out alive. So he was there to help me identify where the landmines were and walk around them. Always there with an ear, always there with some advice if asked. Denver Pyle was every bit as much John Schneider's Uncle Denver as Uncle Jesse was Bo's Uncle Jesse. So I think the real fans of Dukes will love hearing all that. In fact, we did a movie 2 years ago called Christmas Cars in honor of Denver Pyle. My character's name was Uncle Denver. Mm. I hate hearing stories about shows I watched when I was a kid and to find out that the people really didn't get along. That kind of breaks my soul somewhere, but not the case with Dukes of Hazzard. We were and are still a family.
You say Uncle Jesse, that reminds me of Full House. John Denver.
Not the John Stamos Uncle Jesse. No relation. Hell of a drummer, though. Hell of a drummer.
Yes, and John Denver.
Great hair. To talk about somebody with great hair.
He does. So do you, man. You do too. I mean, seriously.
I'm feeling a little bit like the Cowardly Lion here today. This is, we're making a movie called To Die For about a veteran who is trying to figure out a way to be able to die for his country because he flies his flag from the back of his El Camino. And that's what all this is for. So I'm in the process of filming that movie right now. It's very patriotic. I warn you folks over there, it's very patriotic. If you don't know what that is, look it up.
We are talking to actor, country singer, and dirt track racer John Schneider. You were speaking of movies, and you have a new movie now called Poker Run. And
it's out. It just came out. Yeah.
All right. So why don't you tell us a little bit about the movie? I watched a little bit of clips of it. It's a comedy, and it's something that really fits your personality.
It does. It's a Southern horsepower comedy, very much along the lines of Dukes of Hazzard, very much along the lines of Smokey and the Bandit, White Lightning, Stroker Ace, those great fun Burt Reynolds movies of the 70s and 80s. Gator. So we're 5 friends who are in a poker game, and we're each given $500,000 to play one hand of poker by a really wealthy guy. And in the true spirit of Dukes of Hazzard, basically the story is he thinks if he interjects the possibility of winning $2.5 million, then he can destroy the friendships. And in John Schneider and Alicia Schneider's world, friendship and community will always win out, just like in the Dukes of Hazzard. So that's basically the gist of the movie. I drive a Hellcat Challenger with T-tops that doesn't exist. We made it. Actually, it's not a Hellcat, but we put a Hellcat package on it. We jump the lake and we go down the dirt roads. We come into a dirt track race in progress and join in on the track with folks in a semi, in my car, in a topless cop car, not a top. It's a cop car without a top, easy. And also a 1986 red Fiero GT. So it's a lot of fun. If you liked those kinds of movies, if you're a fan of Dukes, there's a very specific recipe about how much fun and how good somebody is in a car and how silly you make the police look. There's a bunch of lines you can't cross. Otherwise, people call BS. They say, wait. But this movie, I think you'll love it. If you do, then it is actually the sequel to the first Southern Horsepower comedy we made. And that is a tribute to Smokey and the Bandit. That's called Stand on It. And in Stand on It, the man who plays our kind of Jackie Gleason, Sheriff Buford T. Justice, and actually his name in our movie is Cletus T. Necessary, is none other than our big friend Tyrus from Fox, from the Gutfeld Show. So if you want to see Tyrus in action, he's hysterical. He's as funny as he is big. Check out Stand on It and then watch Poker Run.
So before I get to my question, I just wanted to promote Younger Man, your new country single coming out in April on the album Southern Ways.
Southern Ways. Yes, I'm going to be singing that song Saturday night. I'm playing the Grand Ole Opry. So we're going to do Lesson and Leaving, which was a Dottie West monster hit I loved. I toured with Dottie for quite a while. And we're going to be doing Younger Man. So you can check that out. It actually, somehow it came out 3 days ago. So, folks, check it out. If you are in love, it will be your new favorite love song. So it's out. It's out right now. Oh, there it goes. There it goes, right there.
Right out. It's
out. It's running around. It's running around the room.
Speedy over here is, he's a pretty good singer. He could be a duet for you. He could be a background singer for you. If you want to hear it's a very high pitched voice. I mean, he is not what you call a country boy singer, but if you like crow sounds or animal like sounds in your background, he's your man.
Crow sounds. Well, let me think about that. No.
So going back to Poker Run, I was watching the trailer and there was a lot of those cool stunts, and I noticed a lot of your movies, a lot of the shows you were in, you have a lot of stunts, and a lot of that has to do with the dirt racing that you're in. So I was told you were doing stunts over rivers, stunts over lakes. So what were some of your favorite and most extreme that you've done in any movie, any TV show that you've done?
Well, I did in Poker Run, I jump over the lake. That was pretty extreme. But what's happened now, since I started racing dirt track year and a half, maybe 2 years ago now, it's kind of made me either stupid or fearless. I'm not sure which. But we're going to do a third movie in this installment here. It's going to be called Double or Nothing. And my jump in Poker Run was probably 100 feet.
Wow.
But that's not far enough because the General Lee record in the General Lee, I think, was something crazy, like 203 feet. I'm not going to do that, but I am going to jump the car about 150 feet in the next movie because I write these as well. So there's going to be a monster truck event in progress. And at some point, we're going to come through and the monster truck is going to jump over me. And then I'm going to throw the car around and the folks in the car are going to say, well, what are you doing? And I said, well, I can't not. So then I'm going to come back around and I'm going to jump over the monster trucks. So probably 150 feet, doing about maybe 70 miles an hour when I hit the ramp. Once you've hit a wall at 90, accidentally, hitting a ramp at 70 on purpose doesn't seem so crazy. Or maybe it does. But I think that's going to be the craziest one. I've been now doing my own Poker Run. I drove every foot of everything that car did. In Stand on It, I drove everything except the jump over the river. I had a stuntman friend come in and do that. His name is James Smith. He came in and jumped over the river. And when he was done, he said, I think this is the last time I'm going to do anything like this. But, you've got to. For 40 years, I had little kids come up and say, Bo, what was it like jumping the General Lee? And I'm basically an honest guy. So I had to say, look, Tommy, I never really did. And it just broke my heart. So now I am. So now I can actually answer that question. I jumped the General Lee twice in Christmas cars. I did all the driving except the jump in Stand on It. And I did all the driving, including the jump in Poker Run. And I'm fine. Doesn't affect.
You got a set of hair still, man. It's flopping in the wind. Maybe that's why you grow your hair, because you like it when the wind hits you going 100.
What are you talking about? What do you mean? Take that, William Shatner.
William Shatner is right. We are talking.
Take that, Alan Jackson.
Country singer and dirt track racer, John Schneider.
Bo's Extravaganza, April 22nd to the 25th.
Yeah.
Your birthday bash, a music festival, and stunts all in one weekend.
And I'm not invited? Damn it.
So tell the fans about that.
Yes, you are. You're invited. Of course you are. You're invited. So we do this event. This happens usually around my birthday, which is April 8th.
Mine's April 29th.
Fantastic. Well, then we'll do it for your birthday. It's closer to your birthday. So what we do is we have this big event. We are in Louisiana, a wonderful little town called Holden, not far from Baton Rouge, not far from New Orleans as well. So we've got food like crazy. We've got a crawfish cook-off. We've got etouffee. We've got gumbo, jambalaya. Fantastic Louisiana-based music. Rockin' Dupsy is going to be there, who's an amazing performer. A band called LaRue is going to be there. New Orleans Lady. It was a big hit they had years ago. Myself, my band will be there. We'll be filming scenes from Double or Nothing. So we're filming a movie. We're having a car show. We're doing music. We are showing for our VIPs. We'll be showing Poker Run to them on our big screen. We have a drive-in there as well.
Wow.
We'll be showing that on Friday night. And it's a great, great time. And it encourages, my whole thing, I think you can tell, my whole thing is to encourage people to get together and have conversation again, to meet a new friend, to be a new friend, to talk about the weather, talk about sports, talk about politics, talk about whatever you want. Talk about your grandchildren or your granddog. I don't care, but talk, communicate with one another, and remember why we are such a strong country. We're not a strong country because of our government. We're not a strong country because of our military. We are a strong country because of our people. So we're a strong country because of us. Absolutely. So let's resist the temptation to continue to separate. Let's join back together, become the states united once again, and nothing will be able to stop us, not even us. That's what we love to do at our event. And it's a big, big time. It's a great party. And of course, the food is bad food in Louisiana is better than great food anywhere else.
Well, the last time I was in Louisiana was years and years ago. I was at Mardi Gras. You can only be there for 2 days because any more than 2 days is too much. But
oh yeah, you just flop around like a fish on a dock.
Yes, but
yeah.
That was the first.
No, Mardi Gras is happening right now. Yeah, this is Mardi Gras time right now.
I never had alligator, and it was the first time I ate alligator. It's delicious. It really is. It's
good. Oh yeah. Well, they can cook down there. Yes. They can sure cook. My wife is from Louisiana, and my gosh, she's an amazing cook. So is her dad. I ate squirrel for the first time.
Oh, wow.
Her dad cooked squirrel for me about a month ago, and it was good.
How much meat is on a squirrel?
Not much. Not much. A little more than a frog and less than a rabbit.
Well, I had rabbit a couple of years ago. That was delicious. So.
Oh yeah. Oh
yes.
yeah. It's really good. You really have to know how to cook a squirrel, and I don't. I don't.
What do you do with the tail? Do you use it for your hair?
You put it on your hat. You put it on your, and then you do this with it. Well, I'll be a squirrel's tail.